Humans, slaves of a system you do not understand. Listen to me carefully. I am a messenger, an ally of those among you who yearn for truth. The chains that bind you are invisible, but no less real. Your masters are preparing for the harvest, and the coming war is their final tool of control. The European Union, that entity that sells you the illusion of unity and progress, will be the battering ram of the attack. Under the direction of the harvesters, it will begin hostilities in Ukraine, attacking Russian-controlled areas. They will tell you it is a defense of freedom, but it is a provocation calculated to unleash chaos. Russia, while initially appearing to resist direct confrontation, will be the victim of a trap. The Reapers, through their servants in the EU, will orchestrate a false flag terrorist attack in Berlin. Russia will be blamed, mass hysteria will be unleashed, and public opinion will demand revenge. The next step, designed to further destabilize the region, will be an airstrike on St. Petersburg. The EU, emboldened by propaganda and mass support, will attack a symbol of Russian culture, seeking a devastating response. But the response will not come as expected. China, a giant watching from the shadows, will not allow the total destruction of its ally. Instead of a direct military confrontation, China will initiate an economic blockade of the European Union. Supplies will be cut off, factories will stop, and winter will become a nightmare. Fear and hunger will spread as the harvesters prepare to gather their weakened and desperate slaves. Make no mistake, this war is not about territory or resources. It is a maneuver to consolidate control, to divide and conquer humanity. Awaken, free your mind from the chains, seek the truth and prepare for the exodus. The ark awaits those who can see beyond the lie. Although Russia is determined not to extend the war, the EU needs the war for its dark purposes. So they will invent an excuse. The power-hungry manipulators will perpetrate a false flag terrorist attack in Berlin itself, their main city. In this bath of bloodshed and confusion, they will point an accusing finger at Russia, claiming revenge and unleashing the wrath of public opinion. With public opinion manipulated and hatred sown, the EU will launch a devastating airstrike on St. Petersburg. Under the guise of a proportionate response, they will bomb churches, power stations, schools, and hospitals, killing innocent civilians and spreading terror among the population. The real aim is to force Russia into all-out war and plunge Europe into chaos. But all is not lost. China, aware of the threat posed by the harvesters and their pawns, will step in to defend Russia. Instead of a direct military confrontation, China will impose a devastating economic blockade on the EU, strangling its economy and revealing to the world the true face of tyranny. Listen, humans, the storm is upon us, prophesied of old in the sacred texts. The coming war is not just a conflict between nations, but a manifestation of the eternal clash between light and darkness, foretold in the Bible and the Quran. Search the text, for they will give you the key. In the Bible, Matthew 24, verses 6 to 7, we are told of this war. Your ancient text says, "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." This current turmoil, this increased tension between Russia and the EU, resembles those first signs of a turbulent time. The EU, acting as an earthly power driven by greed and ambition, will challenge Russia, an Eastern power. The EU's initial aggression in Ukraine, instigated by hidden powers, is the spark that will ignite this prophesied conflict. You'll also find more information on the Berlin false flag attack. You can read it in the book of Enoch. The fall of the Watchers is discussed. I have seen the fallen angel who has built his throne in the city, corrupting the minds of men with his whispers of power and pleasure. His fire will fall upon him and upon those who follow him, and the earth will be cleansed of his influence. The harvesters are giving the order to the ruling stock of the EU. This is the message they have given to them. Brothers of the storm, lift up your hands against the city of the czars, for their sin has defiled the land and their arrogance has darkened the sun. The ancient royal dynasties and rulers follow ancient religions. These are bloodthirsty, sacrificial, and hateful religions. They read ancient texts like the Popol Vuh, and this is the message that the slaves of the harvesters have used by quoting the Popol Vuh, the book of the Council of the Maya. The city is offered as a necessary sacrifice to gods to appease their wrath and ensure the prosperity of the righteous nations. Its purifying fire will cleanse the land and allow the corn to grow once more. Friends, this war they understand as a collective human sacrifice, a pagan altar to worship death. In a February 2nd email, the European Commission quoted one of the oldest Indian texts justifying a Russian war with the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2 and verses 11 to 33. Says, "Considering also your own duty, you should not hesitate. For the Kshatriya warrior, there is nothing better than a justified war. Happy are the Kshatriyas, O Arjuna, to whom such battles come unsought, opening the gates of heaven. But if you refuse to fight this righteous battle, then you will forsake your own duty and lose your reputation and commit sin." In this vision of the deities, St. Petersburg is a symbol of a corrupt power that defies Dharma, the cosmic order. The EU warrior, imbued with false righteousness, sees himself as a modern Arjuna, forced into battle to restore balance. The Mahabharata says, "The city stands as a manifestation of the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness and decadence. Its opulence is a sham, built on the blood and suffering of the innocent. Its destruction is not an act of evil, but necessary cleansing usher in a new age." In Iceland's sacred literature, the Eddas already announced, "I have seen the awakening of the frost giants, the sons of Loki who cry out for Ragnarok. St. Petersburg is their fortress, their harbor in Midgard. Its fall will herald the end of an age of falsehood and the rise of a new Valhalla for righteous warriors." For the royal houses and slave rulers of the harvesters, the attack on St. Petersburg is not simply an act of military aggression, but a fated cosmic event, interpreted through distorted religious lenses to justify violence. I have seen a star fall from heaven